the half reading anywhere in the world today, anywhere you go. This reading we know it's been preserved even to the dot, to the letter, to the vowel, to the sound. So what I will ask Hatun to do instead and challenge her, and this is in the paper, to provide 3 examples of differences between the half readings anywhere in the world.
Brother, show him the examples, please.
Yes,
So,
we have.
Wait, stop. Daniel, so now
That
you've
is my
heard.
claim. That is my claim.
Wait. Never claim in Speaker's Corner that they have not changed even to the dots. That was his word. Oh, he said they are not even changed even to the dots, letters, and sounds. What you just heard, as he played back, I said the half reading anywhere in the world, they have been preserved. Hold on. They have been preserved even to the dots, letters, and sounds. And I stand by my claim, and I will demonstrate that to you. You have been first dishonest in claiming that I stated that not even a dot has changed. I didn't say that.
You did say that.
It's a preserve.
Even it isn't getting his hand.
Don't you understand it? It's
See, now-
preserve. You don't understand.
Now, brother, hang on. What you do not
we got no
understand.
problems.
Don't talk, don't talk.
You don't know how
Lies.
to don't have a Quran.
Lies.
You don't
No,
have the Quran.
no,
You have 30
We are
different
quite
Qurans
a
in
bit.
your hand.
The Bible says you cannot pray.
You're lying.
I said our half reading has been preserved not only to the dots and letters but also to the sounds.
What does
Now,
preserve mean?
wait, I will demonstrate to you what I mean. Now,
You don't need to demonstrate
what
for
do
us,
you
it's already
understand?
answers.
What do you understand by
I wish not.
dots when it comes to the reading of half?
Here's the problem.
I'm
No,
talking
no,
to
no,
you.
no, no, no. Go and learn Arabic first. Go and learn Arabic
I'm not
first.
talking to you.
You go and learn Arabic first.
I'm not interested to talk to a Decepticon.
Why are you afraid of
I'm gonna-
talking about it?
Daniel.
Because you know,
Why not? Why not?
You can get all the help that you want from her, but I am not talking to this Decepticon. I will speak to you as I speak to Lizzie. No problem. You can get all the help that you need, even in the discussion. You can speak to her. You know what? Hatun, how do I answer? No problem. But I will speak to you and you directly. So now,
That's just disgraceful.
when I mentioned in relation to my statement about dots and sounds and letters,
Right here.
let me finish. What do you understand by dots in relation to reading?
He's been at the corner for long enough. Everyone knows Mansur is a good communicator. Everyone knows Mansur doesn't lack the communication skills. So, in somehow, Mansur wants us to unpack his statements where he says not even a dot change in Hafs Quran. Context of the debate, we were talking about how many Qurans are out there, and we were talking about the textual variations. The paper he gave it to us, it says 3 examples of differences between Hafs Musans. Brother, show him the examples, please.
Yes, we
Thank
have.
you.
Wait, stop. Daniel, so now
That
you've
is my
heard.
claim. That is my claim.
Wait.
There's no different thing I'll say to you.
Daniel, listen.
You asked us for 3 examples
Daniel,
between the house.
Daniel, I've been asking for how long? 3 examples of differences between the worst Qurans out of your 26, so there is 1 Quran you have at home. 3 examples of difference between the worst Quran and the half Quran. Have you heard any? Those of you on the paper, have you ticked those? Have you provided 1 example yet?
This is Surah 33.
This here is called what? With Fatha on top.
Hamza. This is
What is
Hamza.
about it? It's called what? Yeah, Hamza. Okay, good.
There
And
is
this
a
one,
Hamza here.
and
There
this
is a
one
Hamza
with
here.
Fatha as well. Called what?
Where is Hamza? Where is Hamza in here?
Okay.
Where is Hamza in this one?
Do you mind? Let me finish.
No, I'm asking
This
a simple
this
question,
called
sir.
what here?
Where is Hamza in here?
Can you let him speak?
You got Alif, and
The
then
one
there
in
is the
black.
Hamza.
This called what? We have agreed here. This called Hamza Fatha.
Yes.
And this here is called what?
There is Alif.
Alif Fatha. Pronounce this one Alif Fatha. What is the voice?
Yasalun.
No, this letter only was Fatha.
Ah,
Pronounce
don't
it.
force.
Knowledge time. Knowledge time.
Be honest.
Knowledge time.
The whole world is going to watch you. The house reading anywhere in the world today, anywhere you go. This reading we know it's been preserved even to the dot, to the letter, to the vowel, to the sound.
Why the sound is different?
We have it right here.
Why is the sound different? Why is the
have it right
sound
here.
and written is
Why do we have
different?
different sounds?
Why is the sound and written is different? Why is the sound and written
Mansur, come
version
on.
is different, Mansur?
The sound is
Why
different.
it is different?
Keep talking about the
Why
sound.
it is different?
Why is it
They are
different?
Can I have a look?
I hold it for you. I'll hold for you.
Okay.
Why are they?
Okay. Sound? Okay. Shall I read it to you? Okay. So you have في الأعراب يسألون. Did you hear what I said? يسألون. في الأعراب يسألون. Did I make any difference?
Let's check.
Do you have an Arab? Yeah.
Here.
Okay. So let me read. في الأعراب يسألون. في الأعراب يسألون. نفس الsound or not?
Show it to him.
Is it the same sound or different if you're Arab?
It sounds the same.
Thank you very much. Very honest person.
Just
Second example.
We want to know where else.
Second example.
read this.
Read.
Is
Can
the
you
pronunciation
find-
is
can you
exactly
find-
the same?
Yeah.
Can you
Especially
find
look at this.
Daniel?
Let him read
Hamza.
this one.
Look at this word with the
So
Hamza.
Daniel, last time when I read,
exactly
was
the
it the same
same?
or different?
Wait, Mansur, wait.
Yes, it's different. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for confirming for us.
Can you read,
it for
please?
us? Can you read this?
I can.
Yeah,
read
go ahead,
it.
read.
Yeah, read.
And
يحسبون الأحزاب لم يذهبوا وإن يأتي الأحزاب
What's the difference between this and
يؤدوا
this one?
لو إنهم بادون
Yeah, English. I know.
في الأعراب
What is the difference between Daniel? There is a difference.
يسألون عن أنبائكم ولو كانوا فيكم ما قتلوا إلا قليلا.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, so to make it little bit easier, can you just read this red color here
Red color,
and
yeah,
then
read
read
just
this
the red.
one?
If he's honest.
Here
I'm Arab.
let's see. تفضل.
تفضل أخي. اقرأ.
okay.
He's
Here
honest.
yeah,
Can you just read, please? Please.
can you be quiet?
And can you please read?
Don't question is dishonest. Please. Nobody question it.
Let him
Yes.
read. Let him read. Do you mind just so we can all hear it? Just touch it.
Welcome to you.
يسألون. This one.
Okay. Can you read it?
يسألون.
Okay, read
Which
this
one?
one.
This one يسألون.
No.
يسألون.
There's a sakin here. Yes, not yasa.
Yes.
No, but there is no air.
No. This sakin, yes, not
Mansur, are you
yasa.
Arab? No, Mansur, are you Arab?
تفضل. So, can you read that again?
Do you understand what he said, Daniel?
No, can you read the word?
But you see here, there is no Hamza.
Can you read it?
So because
no
of the
Hamza.
Hamza,
Excuse me, can
sound
you
is
read?
different.
Exactly. Can you read
Because
it?
of the
Because
Hamza,
Could you read
sound
kindly?
is different.
I can read.
Go ahead, read.
الأعراب يسألون.
No, wrong.
Read this one.
Okay. Here
Okay.
يسألون.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
So that's
One
different.
question.
Praise be to God. Hatun did it. She provided zilch example of the differences between house and wash. Not between the house and the house and the wash and the wash. Thank you so much, Hatun. Thank you so much for providing an extra ayah out of the 31 mushafs. Yes, Omo. Extra surah. Yes, Omo. I thank you again from the bottom of my heart.
So now I'm giving you another example.
Carry on.
Let's look at
No, Hatun cannot carry on. We have moved from the example.
Don't push it.
So, same voice or not?
Don't push the guy. He's already answered you.
Don't put
No,
him
you
under
need
the
to
pressure.
say
Speak to him, my brother.
Don't put him under pressure. He already confirmed the event.
Alif Fatha and Hamza Fatha.
The letter.
Does it have the same voice or not the same voice?
It's a language. It is Alif, Be, Te, Te, Jim, Pe, whatever. Okay? However, when it comes to writing and reading, especially in the Quran, they cut some letters, and they represent it with something else.
So that was the example from Surah 33.
Yes, another example.
So just a moment. That was the example from Surah 33.
What's your name?
It has been confirmed. It is different.
My name is Mansur. What's yours?
And I'm going to look at the
Sorry?
another example.
That's it. Move.
Gareth.
Excuse me,
So-
I'm talking to you, Mansur.
Yes.
The
I've got
word that
another
we read,
example. I've got another example.
is it the
This is
same
Surah
voice
4.
or not?
Surah 4.
Let's
as I
look at
said,
Surah
some
4.
people
Yes.
pronounce it the same way, some other people pronounce it other way.
According
How would you pronounce it? Come on.
Already different.
Exactly.
I just did it.
So many times.
Again, go on.
Can we do it one more time, please?
And يسألون.
Loudly.
Say again.
يسألون and
This is
يسألون.
another recipe.
What you did,
You moved to another recipe.
you want to see what I have to say?
There is
What?
one
Are you serious? Are you
What you have done,
So they were
what you
two
have done,
different things, and
what
he
you have
already
done,
pronounced them
you
as
have
two different
pronounced
That's it.
So,
wrongly,
let's move on
and
to
I
the
will tell you
next
how you
example.
pronounce it wrongly.
Okay, he
Allow me.
pronounced it wrongly according to Hafs.
Allow me. Now,
I'm going to move on to the next example.
go somewhere else then.
That's
So,
Surah
brother,
9, verse 44.
so what you read, what you
So
read,
are they the same?
yasa alun.
So
No,
are
the
they the
scene is sakin. You
Are
don't say
they the
yasa,
same?
it's yes. Yes.
You're
Make
not
a sukoon on the scene. So read it again.
There is no
There's no
Hamza.
Hamza.
Let's see.
Can I ask you can I ask you to write Sa'al? Write Sa'al.
No, not about writing, about reciting. Wait a minute. Wait, brother. So now, you read something and you weren't able to read it properly. Okay. Was there a sakin on the scene?
Because if I write to you in Arabic,
Was there a sakin on the scene?
can I have a pen?
No. I want you to read it.
Where's your paper, Hatun?
Okay, let's read this one. Can I? No, I want him to. No, I don't want you to write it. We want to read what is there. What is there?
I will write what I read.
You're not the
What I'm
yeah?
asking you is this. Is there a sakin in the scene?
It's sukoon.
Is there a sukoon?
There's a sukoon here.
Right.
So,
Read it then. Read it. Read this one.
Yes.
Wait, read this.
Yeah.
Can you read it, please?
Please, sir, read it. Loudly.
La, yes. This one is La,
No, read the whole phrase.
The whole word.
La yasta'dhinuka.
No, read both of them.
Here, La yasta'dhinuka.
Now,
Two
I'll help you why. Sound is different because there is letter Hamza. Hamza does change the sound. Hamza does.
as you have,
So
are we
you don't need
going to
question.
have a response to this or not? Why are you talking?
In Arabic. Why are you fighting with one another, guys? Quran is supposed to be the
It's
perfect
not allowing me to
Arabic.
show to you.
So let me
When
respond.
you make waqaf,
Surah 39, verse 34.
waqaf on the hamza.
Writing
Because
is
you know the
different.
imla.
Pronunciation
Hamza can sit
is
on
different.
yeah. Correct?
Another example.
There's the three rules. Yeah.
Surah
When you
23,
make waqaf,
13.
You pronounce the hamza
Writing
with a
version
glottal
is
stop.
different
You say
and
jaza.
pronunciation
jaza.
is different.
Yes or no?
Recitation is different. Another
A
example.
simple, basic
Muslims
level
denied last
Arabic
week.
from
Pronunciation
primary school.
is
you would say
different.
yes.
Exactly.
Because when
Basic
you
level.
make a stop on the hamza,
because
Basic level
writing
Arabic.
is
Hamza
different
is yeah,
because
on
it
the alif, on
contains
the ya,
letter
you have to say
Hamza.
jaza.
Another example, writing is different, recitation is different.
Look at her. Can you respect
Another
me?
Back a little bit.
Can you respect
Writing
me?
is
Cameras a little bit
different,
back.
pronunciation
Fuck
is
the cameras.
different. Another
the cameras,
example,
man.
writing
Who
is
cares about the
different,
cameras?
Exactly.
pronunciation
Fuck the cameras.
is
Who told you
different.
to come and film me?
Claim dot by dot, word by word, sound by sound. Sadly, went to the grave.
Very sad.
Went to the grave.
Very sad.
ما هو
Another
الفرق
example,
بين
another
الألف
example,
ألف
this is one of
فتحة
the disturbing
والحمزة
examples.
فتحة.
Quran makes
The
a claim
old
that
writing
Quran is perfect
and the
Arabic,
new writing
yet two
you are talking
Arabic
about.
speakers are
I
fighting
agree
with one
with you.
another. What
But,
happened to the perfect
but,
Arabic claim? What
Alif
happened to the claim?
Hamza,
Dot by dot,
Alif Fatah
word by
is called
word,
A.
sound by
Hamza,
sound
Hamza
is
Fatah is
exactly
So
called
is it
A.
perfect?
No. Like here, like here.
This is
You see this,
example from
you see
Surah
this A.
33 verse
This
53
Hamza is the
contains
head of the eye,
variations
the grammarian
after
cut
variations
and then
that
put there
distort the claim
to
dot by
differentiate
dot,
the
sound
Alif,
by sound,
al,
word by word.
mouse,
It's been
the Alif
changed. So it has been corrupted.
differentiated the
Here's one
Alif
example
with the vowel.
to just deal with the
You understand?
claim.
No.
Here's the one example to just deal with the
You don't
claim.
know anything.
Sound by sound, Quran, Hafs Quran is exactly the same. Another
So
example.
there's nothing
no,
wrong in the
that's
Quran here.
not true.
The Arabic style of
Another
writing
example.
developed.
Destroys the
That's the
claim,
only
sound
point.
by
So it's
sound.
different.
They
No,
are the same, they are
the
different.
written.
Exactly. So
the
they're
written.
different.
They are
Here
written differently.
is a E.
Pronunciation
Here's
is
the E.
different.
Why here the
IE
differentiate
and E
here
are different.
is because
IE
the
and
Alif
E are
work
different.
So my question to you is, which Quran will we have?
All of the styles of recitation.
All of the kinds of
We have
recitation.
the Quran.
Yeah.
In all of the
One
variation
kind of Quran. Yeah. What's the others?
styles of
What's the others?
recitation. All the styles of
Right.
recitation.
Okay. Let's use the Hafs. Okay.
Yeah.
Where does the Hafs? Who's the reciter of the Hafs? Who's the reader of the Hafs? When was he born?
The
It's traced back to a particular.
The Prophet Muhammad.
No. The Hafs comes from a man born in the 9th century.
No,
You don't know your own history. You don't know your own history. The Hafs reading
Go to the
is
Hadith.
dated to a man in the 9th century who never met Muhammad.
What's his name?
You're
making a bold claim.
It's called Hafs. It's called Hafs. It's called Hafs. I don't know his full name. It's something like Hafs Suleiman. His name is something like named after Hafs. You see, again, I've made a claim and I'm not making up. This brother has verified 2 claims that I've made. I'm not making them up.
But he's a scholar.
Thank you. He's named after him, but he's a scholar. When was he born?
After Prophet Muhammad.
After the Prophet Muhammad. So you have a Quran
When did he get it
that
from?
you trace back
When
to
did
a
he get it
man after
Where did
Muhammad.
he get it from? Where did the Hafs get it from?
That's the point.
Companions.
That's the point.
Where did companions get it?
Where is the evidence that he got it from Muhammad?
What was he reading? What was this Hafs guy that was born in the 9th century? What was he reading?
What was he reading?
Yeah,
Thank
what was
you.
he reading? No,
Do you
I'm
read
asking.
it?
I'm asking what was he reading?
Well, I would suggest he's reading a text.
Yeah, a text by who?
Yeah, but what is the
Does
text
that
that
text
he's
still
reading?
exist today?
No, it doesn't. We don't have it. Oh no, actually, from the 9th century we do. From the 9th
Okay,
century we
cool.
do.
So
Sorry.
then,
From
so
the 9th
then
century
what's
we
the
do.
point they're making?
Yeah,
If it
so-
existed before him and after him,
So let's look.
yeah,
So
that's
let's
the
look
point they're
at this.
making. You're trying to.
If you take the Quran of the 8th century,
Yeah.
of the 9th century,
Yeah.
it's written in what script?
I don't know. You tell me.
Kufic,
Okay.
right? You compare that to the modern day Quran, the 1924 version of the Quran. Are they dot for dot, word for word, and letter for letter the same?
Which style? Are they the same style?
Well, Kufic and then modern the Arabic of the
You
modern
realize
Quran.
Kufic is a completely different type of script, right?
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point.
It's
So-
an older script.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that doesn't change anything to the meaning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
So what's the significance of the Birmingham
Hold on a
manuscript?
second.
What's the significance of the Birmingham manuscript?
Well, the Birmingham manuscript was dated, and the carbon dating places it prior to Muhammad's revelation.
No. They only
No.
gave a range. They only
Yeah, they give a range. They give a range.
Very wide
They
range.
It is a wide range. So in no more it's no point in it
time of the
right.
Prophet.
Even falls on the time of the Prophet.
It doesn't. Yeah, and it doesn't match the 1924 version. Get the Birmingham manuscript, compare it to your 1924 version of the Quran, look at it page for page, they're not the same.
The words.
You talking about?
But this is the point.
You talk about words. You talk about
This is the point, brother. If you take away the consonant, the vowel vocalizations, you take all of that away, you couldn't read it.
Yeah, that's why you have to be taught it.
Yeah, you couldn't read
That's
it.
why no man can just say
Brother,
it's
let me
the
just
So what we're saying is,
This is as
That's why you
simple
have
as
to
this.
be taught
Your
this.
arguments would only be valid if the Quran was revealed as a book, not a recitation. That's the only way your arguments would be valid. Other than that, it's a straw man.
so let me explain why it's not a straw man. Let me explain why it's not a straw man. When the Muslim armies were at the borders of Armenia before they invaded Christian Armenia, Muslims from different parts of the world who were not Arabs were fighting amongst themselves about how to recite the Quran.
Say that again, Chris.
Muslims were arguing about how to recite the Quran. This is in Sahih al-Bukhari. This is in Sahih al-Bukhari. I'm not making it up. Now, let me be clear. What was the response of Uthman to this disagreement amongst the Muslims? How did he respond? Do you know how he responded? He standardized the text. So his response to disagreement in the recitation was to make a book. So that means the Quran was a book.
You don't
Was it
even
revealed
know
as a
how
book?
to pronounce Greek
No,
words.
it wasn't.
That's not even a concession. That's not even a concept.
I fail to see how my pronunciation of Greek words has any relevance to this discussion.
You don't even have a canon or a standardization on how to pronounce the words in the Bible. In fact, your point that you're trying to make is to our advantage, because watch this. Over 1,400 years, okay, there were people from different areas in the entire world. When I go to Indonesia and he recites the Al-Fatiha, he recites it the same way I would recite it. That is a miracle.
Here's the problem with
You
your
find me
analogy.
Why?
Here's the problem with your analogy. Is that in Greek, the vowels are written.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
you
problem.
don't know how to pronounce
The
them.
Kufic script is solely consonantal in nature.
Alright.
In Greek, the vowels are written, and
Yes.
so therefore there is no need to canonize the standard way to pronounce, because the vowels are there in the text. The vowels, one second.
Just make a point. I just
The
wanna make one point
vowels,
real quick before I
the
go on,
vowels were a later introduction to the Quranic manuscripts. They came after the time of Muhammad,
we know this. We know
and
this.
therefore,
Just make a quick point.
and therefore, what we're talking about at that point, the text is becoming standardized, and variations
Well, yeah, he
between
hasn't
the
made the
text
point. He hasn't made the
means
point.
that
Well,
they
he
are
hasn't made the
different.
point.
They are
I
different
just want to,
Qurans.
can I just make a point real quick
And
before I leave?
the recitation of the wash is different from the recitation of the hafs. Mansur has already shown that.
And that's
Mansur
fine.
has already
That's
shown
fine.
that
That's
they
fine.
are
Can I just
different.
make a point before I leave?
The recitation
Yeah.
is slightly different.
So basically your argument right now is that you don't believe the Quran is from God because there's more than one version. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that if Muslims are consistent to their own belief,
Yeah.
that if the Quran was from any other than Allah, bearing in mind that He said He would protect the book, and the book, and that there is clear evidence of textual differences between
Textual
different
or
Qurans,
pronunciation.
then therefore Muslims
that's
consistently,
no problem.
if they were consistent to their own logic, would not believe in the Quran.
Okay, cool. So then,
If they were consistent to their own
so
logic.
from your standpoint, you're saying that you personally wouldn't believe in the Quran because there's more than one. Because
I-
there's a difference in there's two different ones, whether it be
have to
the
reject the
recitation
Bible
or whether it be the actual physical books themselves. One being in Kufic script, one being in Hafs or
Okay.
whatever they are.
Yeah, so I'm saying to you,
Is that what you're
He's
saying?
being careful with his words. He's going to come back with the Bible.
It's not about that. It's just funny that he's trying to take a high standpoint. He's trying to take a high standpoint, but really and truly, there's no from the 5,000 or approximate
gonna be very careful with his
manuscripts that exist in the Bible today, not two of them match.
knows
So
what he's
how can you as a Christian claim to be a Christian and profess your belief in Christianity, and then turn around and try to criticize Muslims because they have
Pronunciation.
a difference in pronunciation, or even let's give you
not a difference in pronunciation, it's a difference in words, difference
let's
in
give you
words.
the benefit of the doubt and say there's a difference in words.
Thank you.
Okay, let's just say
Thank
two
you.
different difference in words.
So
yeah?
different texts.
Let's just give you for the benefit of the doubt, for
Okay,
the sake of
different
the
text,
argument,
thank
that's the
you.
case.
Okay.
You Christians stand a lot more guilty than Muslims do.
Okay.
In
so,
that sense.
So you want to?
So how can you still be Christian? I can turn around and say this. I can flip this argument as a 180 and do the exact same thing to you.
I'll explain why it's not a 180, and I'll explain why it's not applicable.
Why is that?
The difference between when I make this criticism of Islam,
Yeah.
I am at least taking the time to understand what Muslims genuinely believe about the Quran. The idea that the Quran is nazil, word for word from Allah, ad verbatim, from the angel Gabriel to Muhammad and then copied down. So I've taken the time to understand your beliefs. In other words, in Islam, the message is the book and the book is the message. But your comparison to Christianity demonstrates to me that you don't understand what Christians believe about the Bible. Because our belief about the Bible.
You don't believe the
Can I
Bible is
finish?
the word of God?
Can I finish? Can I finish?
You don't believe the
Can I finish?
It's not a word.
Can I finish? We Christians don't believe that the message is the book. We believe that the message gave rise to the book. In other words, the message came before the book. So, therefore, if there are textual variations in Old Testament Greek manuscripts, so long as they don't affect the essential message, it's not a problem for us. However, because you believe that it's integral to your deen that the message in the book be identical, any change to the text is a change to the message. That's why it's a problem.
Okay. Where's the change in the text? Give me 2 verses.
Well, we had one from the brother that was
Malik
sitting
or
next to me
Malik?
just a
Is
second.
it Malik and Malik?
Yeah, we use this one.
That's a change.
King and owner. Right, let me ask you this question.
In English,
Let me ask you this
what's
question.
the contradiction? In Arabic, it's not.
Let me ask you a question.
That's a change.
Let me ask you a question. Is every king an owner? Is every king an owner?
But every king is
Is there a contradiction? Is there a contradiction
No,
between
no,
the
no.
two?
I wouldn't be
Can
so
someone
petty.
be-
I wouldn't be so petty.
Hold on.
Let me be
not
clear.
say
Is every king an owner?
don't even.
Please don't
That
avoid the
enhances the
question.
meaning, though.
Don't avoid the
I'm not
question.
going to avoid the question, and I'm going to say I do not know.
Okay.
No, no.
Well, let me
Let me
ask you a more
I do
obvious
not know.
question.
I do
Let
not
me
know.
ask you a more obvious question, one you can definitely answer.
Okay.
Is every owner a king?
No.
No. So therefore,
But
these
God is
two
the-
words
Okay.
are
I got him.
No.
These
God
two
is
words
the
are
king
different.
and
Okay,
is the
owner of
owner
what?
Of something.
Owner of what?
Every
of what?
owner
What
is
does
the
Malik
king
mean?
of what he owns.
No, hold on.
And every
No,
king is the
Akhi, no, Akhi. Owner of what?
Let's say everything.
No, but that verse that you're talking about. Owner of what?
Elaborate. Tell me.
Okay, when it says Maliki Yawmiddin,
Yeah.
it says the owner of the day.
Yeah.
So the owner here is specific to the day. What's the day? Day of judgment.
Okay.
And we also know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Malik.
Yeah.
So there's no contradiction in the meaning.
All right. 1 second. 1 second. The king.
Hold on, before you speak, I will let you go. Okay,
Yeah.
another thing. We know in the English language has that feature as well, connotations. Okay, a word has connotations.
Yeah.
Okay, a king
Yeah.
connotes that he owns something.
Yeah.
So where's the difference in meaning there?
So, when it describes Allah as the king, is it describing Allah as the king only of the day of judgment, or is it describing the king as in the king of all things?
La, it says Yawmi, it says Maliki Yawmiddin, the
That
owner of
day,
the day.
that day
Right.
is the king.
So he's the
only
king of the day.
Yes.
And he's the owner of the day. Is his sovereignty, calling someone a king is a question of his sovereignty. Is his sovereignty limited to the day, or does it go further?
There's no questions to ask anymore.
It goes
Already-
The
second
second
goes
is
further.
on
Just-
if he's the
Just
king of
because
everything,
it's specifying
he's gonna be the
that
king of the
day.
day.
And then,
It
guys,
doesn't
brothers,
negate
and another
anything
thing,
else.
yeah, what's very funny, yeah?
One second.
Look, another thing that's really funny here, which is he's trying to differentiate between the owner and the king when I've got to explain to him. Then another thing, the pronunciation is not even that different from Maliki and Maliki.
So what we've
What's the
established,
differences in that?
what I've established from listening to you.
Where's the contradiction?
What? Right, I never claimed it was a
No,
contradiction.
because you're saying
I
in the
never.
text-
You see, no,
you're
hold on.
saying
one second.
in the text.
Okay, listen a
You're
second.
saying this because according
Brother,
to us Muslims.
Brother, 1 second. No, from listening to you, what I've established is the following. What I've established is the following. Firstly, my original claim that the texts were different is correct. There are differences in the text that you admit to. Secondly, that
Difference
there are
in- no,
differences in
hold on.
words.
Difference in what?
No. That there are differences in words, which you've also admitted to, and that there are differences in pronunciation, which you have also admitted to.
He's got an ill style of
However,
arguing.
1
If
second.
he asks you a question,
One
he don't
second.
address every little point. He just
1
accepts-
second.
He just
1
assume
second.
that you accepted this.
1 second. What you did do is reconcile the exposition of the words. You reconciled I forget the word. I'm tired. The hermeneutics, the way, the theology that you draw from it. You have said is the same, and I don't disagree with you. I agree with you. My point to you is that Muslims, for years now, for decades, until recently in Speaker's Corner,
Oh my God. Okay.
until recently, like Mansur has abandoned this position, have claimed that all Qurans are identical. How many times have we heard Muslims say every Quran in the world is the same? That there is only one Quran. Well, the evidence is clearly saying there's more than one
There's only
Quran.
one Quran, but different
For the
recitations.
reasons that I've just given.
Okay. You said to me.
I'll let you have the last word and then I'm going to go.
Okay, that's fine. Basically, what we established here is this: when you say that the Quran, because of its pronunciation, is different, right? What then?
But it takes the pronunciation
Allah,
to be
akhi,
written. So it is the
akhi,
pronunciation.
Maliki, it's the
It is the
pronunciation.
pronunciation. It is the
Which
pronunciation.
pronunciation?
Which one?
Which one?
It's written the same.
Which one's
If
from
it's written in the Quran, it's written exactly the
Using
same.
the word Arabic and looking at the English
Huh?
translation.
Yes.
Melik and
No, it's not a
Melik.
vowel.
Does that sound the same
Yeah.
to you?
It's not a
No.
vowel.
Melik
No, they
and
don't sound the
Melik.
same.
Even
They
if it's
don't
the
sound
vowel.
the same, and they don't mean the same. So you have two texts.
It must be impossible.
No, I
Your
said
Bible
he
should
was
have
the
last
one.
word.
No,
You get your biases, yeah?
No.
Melik and Melik. Is that the same word?
What?
Does this sound the same? Melik and Melik. Does that sound the same to you?
That was the way that when you pronounce it like that, but when you pronounce it earlier, you pronounce it differently. You've changed the pronunciation to suit yourself.
There have been
You
debates
changed,
about this
and in
argument.
your heart, you know that. You stand
Yeah,
before
we
God.
can be honest
with
You
you.
always
I'm
must
not
be
fluent in
honest.
Arabic. I'm not fluent in
Stand
Arabic.
before God.
This is
Always be
between-
honest.
This is between me and you. I am
No,
good. I'll tell you when I'm wrong. I'm not even
I
fluent
said,
in Arabic.
I said I would give you the last word. So let finish your last word, and then I'm
First
going
of
to
all,
go.
you have established things upon me, which I don't agree with, because the first question when you asked me, I didn't understand the question, so I said I do not know. So you haven't established anything on me. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, you are stretching. It's far-fetched what you're doing there. You're stretching. You're looking for something that isn't. Stop stretching. What are you stretching for? You're looking at a word in pronunciation. And then when you look at the word that has connotations, what's owner? What's the difference between owner and execute? I'm telling you, owner of what? You didn't even know. So you don't even know the context of that ayat. So how can I talk to you?
Okay, is that your final word?
Yeah, that's my phone. So do the research
So-
and stop stretching words.
People
Because
can
you're
make their
stretching.
own judgments whether I've made things up
No,
or
you're
whether you've
stretching,
evidenced
you're
anything.
stretching.
People can come to their own conclusions.
You're stretching.
Anyway, it was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for engaging. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for engaging. Have a lovely day.
So again, we came to Speaker's Corner with responding the claim that within the Hafs Qurans, it has been preserved perfectly, dot by dot, sound by sound, word by word. It's preserved. So today we showed some example to Mansur. He's part of the Islamic Dawah team. We showed him example from Surah 33, Surah 9, Surah 72, which changed the sound and which changed the written version of the Hafs Quran. When you look at them, you see there is letter Hamza, which changed the sound. You see there is letter Alif. In some of the versions of the Hafs Quran, it is not there, yet in some of the Hafs Qurans, it's there. So it is sad to see, once again, Mansur didn't want to engage probably, but we respond to the claim which has been made by Islamic Dawah team. In the Hafs Qurans, which is all around the world, dot by dot, word by word, sound by sound, it has been preserved. And that wasn't true. We just made our point today. Yet, I think it's helpful to remember, Muslims already give up the Quran of Muhammad. Muslims already give up the Quran of Abu Bakr, which was the first Quran. Muslims already give up the perfect Quran of Uthman. And now they are trying to hold on something which is written approximately 200 years after Muhammad, somewhere called in Kufa. That's the Hafs Quran. And today we saw again, Hafs Quran is not reliable, as Imam Hafs was not reliable either. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So we've got different Hafs Qurans out there. We've got 7 different Musafs I have got in my possession. Also, I've got 3 online Hafs Quran, different versions, and they are different from one another. Altogether, 10 Hafs Qurans out there, word by word, sound by sound, dot by dot, they are different from one another.
In the end and in summary, I have to say that Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, in the course of discussion, we have established with evidence from manuscripts, with evidence from your examples, with evidence from reason, intellect, with evidence from resorting to authentic hadith, unlike you cherry-picking our hadiths, misunderstanding our hadiths, that there is one Quran of Muhammad